Good day. My name is Teresa Fredericks from Growing Businesses Using Projects, bringing you yet another video, this time in the series tutorial for beginners. We are looking at Microsoft Project and we are setting up the resource sheet. We are doing it with a worksheet example, so you are encouraged to take down the example from under the video and work along with me. Welcome. The agenda, the various types of resources, work material and costs, set up the resource sheet in MS Project, put in notes in the resource sheet. Let's get started. Resources can be work. Under this, you have people, equipment, and facilities that are assigned in the completion of a task. You can name people in various ways. For instance, you can use their name, Thomas Smith, their title, procurement specialist, group laborers. People have limited time. They could work either 6, 8, or 12 hours. Equipment can undertake short or long duration work for 24 hours, have maintenance breaks, and can be used by more than one resource. So what about material? Physical goods or other inputs required to complete a task. For example, you may have paint and you're using that in the house to paint the house. All right, material are consumables used by the work resources. It also includes nails. It is used to track a fixed quantity or rate of consumption. They have labels, can be measured. For example, 4 reams of paper and have a per unit cost. The units of measure is an important gauge. Then you have cost. Other costs, such as overhead or travel expenses, that are involved in the completion of the task. You do not enter the cost value in your resource sheet. You enter the cost value of a resource only when you assign it to a task. So let's get started in MS Project on entering resources. We are in the Gantt chart view, which is the entry view, and we are trying to get to the resource sheet because we want to start entering resources. We can go here and we can click and go to the resource sheet here. We can go to views and we have the resource sheet here. We can right click and we have the resource sheet here. So let's go into the resource sheet. I've increased it a little, and to increase it you just bring down the rows. But we're going to be talking about resource sheet, the headings. First we're going to look at the headings. Resource name are for the resource names, the names of the resources. Type, when you click here, you would realize there are 3 options: work, material, or cost. You can click whichever one. If you click material here, you're going to have to put in this column the label. So if you say, for instance, paint, you're going to have to put per liter or something like that in the material. The initials is the initials of the resources. MS Project will put the first letter, and you can put a second or third letter as you feel fit to, as you want to. Group, are there internal groups, are there external groups? But I have used it to identify some key persons in the project. Max, this is the availability to the project. 50% means they're available half the time, half the day. A day, if it's 8 hours with 1 hour lunch, that's an 8-hour day, that is 100. So there will be 100% allocated to the project. If you see 300 as you see here, it means there are 3 persons. Standard rate is the rate per hour, per week, or per day. Overtime, are they entitled to overtime? A normal day is 8 hours. Are they working 12 hours? The 4 hours extra will be overtime. Cost per use, if you want to bring heavy equipment in, you may have to pay a transportation cost, in addition to your normal daily rental cost per hour. Prorated is how are they being paid? Are they being paid at the start? Are they being paid at the end? Or as the project progresses, prorated? Here you're putting in which calendar. We had created a calendar called Graham. So we are assigning to that calendar. But in addition, there's the 24-hour, the night shift, and the standard. Then you have the code. The code can be used to link back to your accounting system. So Austin Shaw's, he is the head of department IT. He's 50% assigned. We are not giving him any money because he's being paid monthly by the company. Neptune is the project manager. He's assigned for the whole day, 45 per standard and 55 overtime. So let's go to the technical team. These are three persons, which is why you have 300. Now, three persons is the maximum amount allowed on this project to date. If you put 400 as an assignment, you are over assigning this resource. Equipment is normally a work resource used in the project. However, we are doing a network, and this equipment we are importing it to build the network. It's not being used in the activities of the project, but it is part of a network. Just as how when you're building a house, the bricks and everything are part of the house. This equipment is equipment that is setting up the network. So it's an input into the network, and that is why I put it here as material. And it is a per unit cost. Equipment doesn't have maximum availability. And if we are paying for it at the start because we are ordering it from away and they're not going to ship it until we pay. FGH Electrical. This is a contract we have. The contractor is going to be paid according to the terms of the contract. So we have it as a cost item because it's not a per hour or per day or per week. And we will allocate costs for this resource against the activity the resource is involved in relative to the deliverable expected from the resource. So how do we enter a note in the resource sheet? We click and you can click on notes or you can click on information. So the information dialog box comes up and we click on notes, and I want to say that FGH is a has a contract to do electrical work. And I'm going to say okay, and you realize that a note goes in the indicator column. When I move over it, I can see the note. If you like my content, give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. Bye. See you in the next video.